Hey, what's up, everybody? Ain't today wonderful? Um, before we talk about the Bucks and the Suns, the game I didn't get a chance to talk about because I was at a friend's house watching AEW Revolution pay per view, which was pretty decent, but I was kind of like just the only issue that I had with the pay per view is like the main event was a little bit disappointing to me. Um, I guess it's like one of those times. It's just like one of those things. Like you go on your phone just to like do something, and I'm not saying that I done that like halfway through the pay per view, but I was still like paying attention. But like the main event, I just lost a little interest. I don't know what it was. It's like they they done things right, but it was just really like hard to try to follow the main event of that pay per view. I don't know what it is, or what it was, or wherever the case may be, but I just couldn't pay attention. Um, but we will talk about more about that probably sometime tomorrow. I don't know when. If not, it's going to be Wednesday because I know I didn't do aftermath yesterday. But I think it'd probably be cool if we done you know done like aftermath on Tuesday just for this week because I didn't get home in time. Cause like the AEW pay per views are like about really long, and they had their buy in. I think it's like an hour before the pay per view, like at 6 with like three matches. Then you have the whole pay per view that has like whole bunch of matches, but some of it is like the right timing, and some of it was like a little bit too long of a pay per view. Like, oh, sorry. I had a little bit of issue with I think it was their Full Gear pay per view. It was like the thing was that I forgot what match. I think it had something to do with Matt Hardy. That I just think that I just needed to like embrace of it like being too long. But then again, it's like it ended at 11, and I ain't get home until like a little after midnight. But I thought about doing the show right away, but unfortunately, it was just like, nah, I'm gonna rest for once and spend a little time with the wife. So I did that. But like I said, hopefully, tomorrow, if like I have a little time, I will do a video just to talk about do a little bit of aftermath to talk about yesterday's AEW pay per view and this past Saturday's Sacrifice pay per view, and did read a little bit of results of Control Your Narrative pay per view, but most of them I do not know. So we're just gonna talk about Saturday's Impact Wrestling pay per view Sacrifice and Sunday's AEW Revolution. So we're gonna talk about that on Tuesday. So let's just get to down to business. Um, I didn't do Twitch this time. Like I said, I'm gonna do Twitch eventually. Will probably be tomorrow's game because there's a Bucks game tomorrow. Of course, y'all know they go against the Thunder. Then Wednesday they got Atlanta at home, so kind of like a back to back. So it's like as soon as they get done with their game tomorrow for Oklahoma City, they're gonna fly right back to Milwaukee and get ready for Atlanta. Well, Atlanta will probably, well, the team probably will be here tomorrow, but I think like the Bucks team was already down there for the Thunder, well, for Oklahoma City. But anywho, what a game! They had another fantastic game that was like a fight to the finish, and they actually kind of you know finished. Although it was like on the verge, it seemed like Phoenix was just gonna win it. Like Drew Holiday, like all in the fourth quarter, and Chris Middleton, what a night he had! It was like one of his like big nights that well, big day that he had. So because the game was like in the afternoon, so I need to say like a big game that day on yesterday. And the bench did a little bit better, especially like Scherzer Ibaka. He did a little bit better, but I know for them it was like kind of hard to try to stop DeAndre Aiden from the Suns. So I know they had that little bit problem on their hands, and like certain like 3-point shooting that they just couldn't stop from Phoenix. It was just really like that tough of a game that they I had to deal with, and I don't know what happened, but that fourth quarter, like they really fought for it. Not saying like they didn't do their things or anything like that, but Giannis did his thing in the first half, but unfortunately, like the second half, like he only scored like maybe like 2 points. So I think he had like yeah, it was just like kind of just not that great for him in the second half, and he did foul out. He still had like good numbers in for what he did, but yeah, just ended up fouling out and let it be up to Drew and Chris. So the good thing they did kind of stepped up. So that's pretty good. Um, like I said, can't complain about the game. Like I said, it was thought it was gonna be thought the Bucks, was gonna lose, and they end up, surprising me. They really did. Like I said, like with their defensive wise, they had Wesley Matthew was out, but we'll just talk about who else was like out for this game in a bit. But yeah, the score was 122-132. Bucks defeated the Phoenix Suns. Mikael Bridges, 14 points, one steal, six assists, 2 of 5 from three, 6 of 14 from the field. Jay Crowder, 19 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, 4 of 8 from three, 7 of 12 from the field. DeAndre Ayton, I think he had the team high, uh, 30 points, one steal, 2 assists, 8 rebounds. He hit 1 3 and attempt 1 3, so he made that. But overall, he was 14 of 19 from the field. So yeah, he was unstoppable. Landry Shamet, 17 points, 1 block, 1 steal, 5 assists, 1 rebound, 3 of 6 from three, but 5 of 12 from the field. Cameron Payne, who was their starting point guard, probably until Chris Paul comes back, and also Devin Booker was out, so he wasn't playing today. I mean, yesterday. Sorry, but Cameron Payne, 23 points, 1 block, 8 assists, 2 rebounds, 3 of 7 from three, 9 of 19 from the field. You know, defensive rise. Although they went with a 9-man rotation, which is like kind of wondering why. But probably with mainly using like Troy Craig had like the most minutes out of the bench, and JaVale McGee had like less minutes off the bench. And I thought because there was one point they was using like both JaVale McGee and I think DeAndre Ayton like at the 4 and 5 position, and it was just especially it was a lot for like the offense for the Bucks to handle, and defensive wise, it was just for the Bucks. It was like really hard for them, and but like I said, they managed to pull through. Aaron Holiday, the bench high with 8 points, 2 steals, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, 4 of 7 from the field. So yeah, the bench wise were they really didn't use much. Like Efren Payton, I'm surprised he didn't play, but he was there. I guess it was the like I said, coach decision, and surprised he didn't play. So yeah, pretty shocked on that one. But yeah, they didn't have a great bench for yesterday's game. And for the Bucks, Chris Middleton with his season high and also game high of 44 points. Where in the hell was this Chris Middleton at all these other games? Like it was just like I said about him. He has his on and off switch, and it seemed like he had his on switch at the right game. So hopefully, this continues with him. It'll just be, great for him to have this, on switch like all the time for the rest of the season and through the playoffs. Because it looks like so far it's a good sign that they're going to be in anyway. So yeah. Anyways, like I said, Chris Middleton had 44 points, 1 steal, 5 assists, 8 rebounds, 5 of 9 from three. So that's pretty good. And also good mid-range shooting as well. He did 16 of 27 from the field. Um, Giannis, like I said, he had a good first half, but overall had like 19 points, 3 blocks, 1 steal, 6 assists, 13 rebounds. So he had a double double. Uh, all one from three, only 3 of 6 from the free throw line, 8 of 13 from the field. So yeah, um, Bobby Portis didn't have a didn't have a good game, but like he did some things when it counted, and yeah, just really didn't have a good game. 9 points, 6 rebounds, 2 of 5 from three, 2 of 8 from the field. Grayson Allen, like I said, I do expect more from him a little bit more at least, but at least this was decent enough for him to like do something. He had 10 points, uh, 2 steals, 6 assists, 1 rebound, 2 of 3 from three, 3 of 5 from the field. Drew Holiday, like I said, like he had like I think it was like 14 points or something like that in the fourth quarter, but it could have been a little bit more than that. And that just can't remember. But overall, he had 24 points, 1 block, 4 steals, 9 assists, 2 rebounds, 4 of 5 from three, so good 3-point shooting from him, and 7 of 13 from the field. Oh wow, I thought at least a few of them from the bench would have, they did a 10-man rotation, but I thought, it would have been scored a little bit more between, John Trey Burnby and Javon Carter. Like they did their thing, but they just didn't like score anything, but like anything else like assists and defensive wise and all that stuff and a little bit of like rebound. They did okay. But the two from the bench deserve a clap. Serge Ibaka and Jordan Nwova did great off the bench. Especially like they play Serge Ibaka more minutes than they finally played him more minutes. So that's pretty good. And I'm finally glad that they gave him more minutes. Like almost 22 minutes he played during that game, which is fine. Which is like that's why I expect from him to play at least like 20 minutes or a little bit more than that. So I'm glad they did that. Serge Ibaka had 14 points, 2 blocks, uh, yeah, 2 blocks, 1 assist, 10 rebounds. So he had a double double, but 6 offensive rebounds. Yeah, 6 offensive rebounds. That says something. 1 or 2 from three, 6 of 10 from the field. Jordan Wova with 12 points, 1 steal, 5 rebounds. Although his 3-point shooting wasn't that good, it was 1 to 6 from 3-point line. But overall, good shooting percentages 5 for 10. So those two from the bench really pulled it off. Now I think if it wasn't for them two, um, it would have been tough on the Bucks and to win this game. So yeah, because normally would be the starters that mainly win this game, and the bench is like doing like a little bit contributions to the game. But yeah, the bench ended up doing really good, and they finally you know did their thing as we were expecting. We were expecting it should have been like a good bench scoring for them, and I think Serge Ibaka find his fitting with the team. Although it sucks that Jordan Nova have his up and down game, but this one was a little bit up, except for the 3-point shooting. But they did win. Once again, the game, Bucks won 122 to 112. Oh, 122 to 132. I'm sorry, it's 132 to 122. So sorry about that. As we mentioned that Devin Booker and Chris Paul was not playing. Frank Kavinsky, although he was on the bench, but he was inactive. Dario Saric and Cameron Johnson. I was shocked because the good game he played on Friday, and I forgot who they played against, but they was at home, and he was like really. He had like I think it was a career high of 38 points he had on Friday's game. But yeah, he was carrying that team besides, DeAndre Ayton, but he carried that team on that Friday's game, but was not available for yesterday's game. George Hill still out. Brook Lopez, only thing we know is like he's getting on 5 contact, like playing. So, like I said, hopefully sooner or later he'll get here. So I know I said mid March, but I'm just going to say the end of March. He might be back. I guess they're just going to see how he's good with the contact and stuff. So we'll see. Pat Connaughton still out with the wrist, so probably like mid to late March for mid to late this month for him. Although Sandro was on the bench, but he was inactive as well. So yeah, um, the next game they play against Oklahoma City Thunder. Um, not trying to like brag or anything, but I think most likely they should win that game because right now they're on like 4 games. It would have been a 5 game. Hopefully, it would be a 5 game winning streak, but most likely, I think they're gonna win. Oh yeah, kind of tough. Um, Philly is in second. They won their game against Chicago today. Um, 3 games behind. They're 3 games behind Miami. Bucks is in third. They're 3.5 games behind Miami, but half a game behind for the second seed. Chicago's in fourth. They're now, since that loss, they're now a game behind Milwaukee, but they're 4.5 games behind for the first seed. Boston's in fifth. They're 5 games behind for the first seed, and like a half a game behind Chicago for that fourth seed. Cleveland's in sixth. They're like 6 games behind Miami. Toronto, they're in seventh. They're in the play-in, so that's 9 games behind for the first seed. Charlotte is in eighth due to Brooklyn's loss yesterday against Boston, and I think Charlotte did win their game today. So yeah, so both Brooklyn and Charlotte are tied, but Charlotte has the tiebreaker, and Atlanta um, they lost their game today, so they're in 10th. So Washington and New York still got a chance to get that 10th spot, but we'll see what happens. Detroit is on a 3 game winning streak, shockingly, but they behind Indiana. But I think it's too little, too late for them. But at least they just gonna have fun and show the preview of what's coming up next season in Detroit. And plus, who knows what draft pick they're gonna get? Okay, Phoenix is in first. Um, oh wow, shockingly, Memphis is now in the second seed, and yeah, that's a shock. Memphis Grizzlies is in the second seed. Um, Golden State Warriors are in the third seed now. They're on a 5 game losing streak. Youch. Um, Utah's in fourth. Dallas in fifth. They got a 5 game winning streak. I think they tied for the most wins in the West right now. Um, Denver's in sixth. They're on the 3 game winning streak. Minnesota, they're tied with Dallas for the like 5 game winning streak, but right now Minnesota's in the play-in. They're seventh place. They're kind of like 2.5 games behind for the sixth seed. Clippers are in eighth. Los Angeles Lakers are ninth. Although they lost their game, they won Saturday, but they must have lost today. So they're kind of right now game behind New Orleans, which New Orleans could take that spot if they whenever they can. Like I said, New Orleans in 10th. Portland is right there with them, like 2 games behind for the 10th spot. San Antonio, they're 2.5 games behind for that 10th spot. Sacramento, although they're 4 games behind, but I guess they probably ain't eliminating anybody yet because of the play-in. Because normally, right about now, like if it's like looks too bad for them to get in the top 8, they would have somebody would have been already eliminated. But they said some people look like they still got a chance, but I think for the Thunder and Rockets, it's kind of over. Sacramento is like really like, and after that trade they did with for the B Sabonis, thought they would have done something, but mainly what you see with Sacramento is probably going to be a preview of the next season if they keep everybody. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, the next game for the Bucks will be Oklahoma City Thunder, and that's tomorrow. I think it's at 8 o'clock Central start. Um, oh wait a minute. Okay, Sacramento and New York are still playing. Okay, so that was 94-90. Let me see the tomorrow's Bucks game. Oh, it is 7 o'clock tomorrow. Okay, I thought I just thought they'll be on the since they kind of like on the West Coast a little. And I'm gonna let y'all know especially for Brooklyn and Charlotte, they play tomorrow. Mainly they fighting for that AC, which Charlotte currently has. So this could be the tiebreaker for them. Right now, Charlotte owns the tiebreaker. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. So we'll see. That's it for me. Thank y'all for watching, especially loyal subscribers. Subscribe and look at our past videos and stuff if you like Bucks content and also wrestling, anything wrestling related content. You'll like this channel.
Be there or be square.
You're be there or be square. Well, anyways, like I said, thank y'all for watching. I will be back on Twitch. Probably gonna talk about the Bucks game right after tomorrow's yeah, about that tomorrow. Like I said, I will try to do a little bit of I might do a combination of both aftermath and the Bucks game. Might
And
do that or
actually look for me on TikTok because if he's doing a live thing after the Bucks game tomorrow night, I will broadcast it live on TikTok. So look for Hazel Flynn Jones or Maddie's Memory. You'll be able to find me both using that.
y'all heard. So, that'd be something interesting. And plus, like I said, I'll be back on Twitch tomorrow as well, just to talk about the recap of the Thunder and Bucks game, and also probably talk about the past 2 pay-per-views that happened this weekend. We'll talk about that. But until the next video, yeah, have a good night.